Welcome to the most must-listen to show on the internet. Welcome to AEG. I am your host, JB, and we are live, son. And we got Dalton with us.
What's up, everybody?
And I have Gustavo.
Hello.
And I have Marlon.
What up?
Joining us tonight is our special guest, Ultimat Reality, or Ultima.
Hello.
What's up?
Or badass, or whatever.
So, yeah. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing good now that you're here.
Yeah, the best host.
Yeah. Yeah, Gustavo's been fucking up our shows for weeks, and now Jeff is back.
I gave him a compliment that his last week's episode was really good. So he's doing just fine. Our little baby hoster over here.
Oh, he's growing up.
He's growing up so fast. But so basically this episode is going to be pretty much focused on Ultima and Twitch and streaming and all that kind of stuff. We're going to kind of bring back what they did talk about last week, which was the Ninja moving over to Mixer from Twitch, which is a huge deal. I know Ultima brought something that she wanted to talk about in regards to game streaming and specifically streaming personalities. And yeah, I think we should probably start this off by Ultima. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into streaming? What's your favorite part of it? You know, all that kind of stuff. Open book.
Oh, yay. Oh, great. Me, I do need an alcoholic beverage for this.
Okay, and grab one.
Yeah. Well, I've been streaming for about a year. My 1 year was on August 11th. Thank you. I've been a huge video game nerd since I was like 4, like side scroller Mario sort of thing. And I didn't really get hardcore into gaming and streaming until about 2014, around there. When I discovered, the gloriousness that is Dragon Age. It's like a visual novel, right? So I'm a huge book nerd first. So then when I started playing that, I'm like, oh my God, it's like you're in the story. It's great. Yep. So it just kind of took off from there. Actually, it was really funny because Dragon Age led into Mass Effect. And the only reason I played Mass Effect is because I had a gentleman that was like, I'm really into this. I'm like, well, yeah, I'll try it because I wanted to, hey, I'm here too, right? But
wait, is this a video games to get laid story? Is this what this is, or is this?
Oh, come on, I don't like that.
But it was funny because my love for Mass Effect stayed, and the boy just kind of faded. So there we go.
Hey,
you made the right
love
choice.
Is Mass Effect.
Yeah, you made the right choice.
He went the way of Andromeda, let's say.
Oh, all right.
You know what? After the updates, Andromeda did get a little bit better, but
Slightly.
It just because I think the problem is because Shepard has such a big shadow that it's really hard to kind of introduce a new character into an already established timeline. You know what I mean? And get the same level of love and respect. So I mean, I like Andromeda, but it's not as great as the original, that's for sure.
Sense.
Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
Is it 2?
I was gonna say 2. The only answer that I'm looking for is 2. So.
It is 2. It is. Though, you know what? The ending, after I 100% completed number 3, I bawled like a baby. I'm just gonna put it out there. I cried.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
as much shit as that ending has gotten over the years, I still don't think it's as bad as people made it out to be.
Yeah, you know what? I thought it was a fitting ending. And if you did it all, including the stupid multiplayer aspect, that's that 1 second scene of Shepard breathing. It's like, that's all I need. It's only a little bit of hope, so.
Awesome. So you said you started with Dragon Age, kind of. Did you start with Inquisition then, since it was 2014? Or
no, I actually started with Origins.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't have a computer. I just had my PlayStation. And where I live, there's a video game store, and they had a $5 bin. And I picked it up. It was like the Ultimate Edition, so it had like all the DLCs and stuff.
Nice.
Like, hey, great, new game for $5.
Dang, you got a bargain.
I did, yeah. Because it had Awakening with it, so it was like
Awakening
2 games for
really
one,
good too.
right? Yeah. So it was just I played through the tutorial, and I got to as far as Ostagar, and then I put it down and I didn't play it for 6 months. I was like, it's all right. And then I went I went for lunch with a friend, and I casually had mentioned, I got this game called Dragon Age, and her whole face just lit up, and she went on this big long rant about it. It's the best game ever. I'm like, okay, maybe I should try it again. And so I did, and I was just like lost after that.
Did you start over, or did you just pick up from where you left off the 6 months prior?
I tried that, and I'm like, I don't even know any of the controls anymore, so I had to go back and I had to restart.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but it was good. It was worth it. So worth
Yep. It's definitely one of my favorite games from that generation of consoles. Origins specifically. 2 was it was good, but it wasn't nearly as good as Origins was.
It was a good bridge to Inquisition.
Yes.
For sure. I really enjoyed Inquisition. And the fact that BioWare is like an hour or so north from where I live is even better.
Wow. That's
Mhm.
cool.
I'm jealous.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're close. You're in Edmonton, or you're close?
Close to Edmonton, yeah. I travel there quite frequently. But like because I'm in school full time while I'm doing this too, so the hopeful outcome is narrative design and video game marketing, and BioWare is like my target company.
That is
Like,
awesome.
That would be
gearing
amazing.
everything towards there. So
That's awesome. That's
That's
actually
awesome.
amazing.
That
Maybe
is
you can
cool.
maybe you can take Ben Irvin's spot at one point. You know?
Yeah.
There you go.
I was gonna
Maybe
say
you-
it's a good thing you brought up the Dragon Age, because I just read that story this morning that he had left.
But see,
Yeah.
like, because there's a huge long discussion thread on Facebook about it, and everybody's like, oh, all the BioWare people are leaving because EA bought them. And I'm like, did anybody actually read any of his tweets? Like, this was pre-planned. Like, he's finished his part for Dragon Age 4, and he's been there for 12 years. So it's time to move on to better and brighter things.
But unfortunately for a lot of the games media journals, it makes for a clickbaity headline to say, hey, you know, they're hemorrhaging talent. And because of
Anthem
Anthem or
has
whatever.
killed BioWare.
Yeah, hey, look at that goose! Hey, look at that goose! It's a callback to what you said on Discord earlier this week.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah,
It's all about the clicks.
Plus,
All
you're
about
gonna get a lot of clicks if you start trashing EA, right? So
Of course, because it's like you jump on the trash train. There you
Yeah.
go.
It's easy to jump. It's easy to trash EA.
jump on the trash.
Oh, it really
I
is.
love that.
we're gonna start doing that kind of thing
Yeah.
more often. Just check our tweets.
Shitting on everyone to get attention.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna make all kinds of enemies and then just go from there.
Then we'll be notorious instead of famous.
There you
There
go.
I'm pretty sure there's some knucklehead out there with some YouTube channel that's basically has done EA Sports. It's in the trash. So
Marlon, you should totally trademark that.
I might do that, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had.
But yeah,
a
you
special
mentioned
guest.
you're yeah. You mentioned you're a bit of a book nerd. What kind of things do you read? Because our own Gustavo is a bit of a book nerd as well. So
Yeah. I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, Dragon Age, Mass Effect.
yeah.
But I recently in the last couple of years have gotten into playing Dungeons and Dragons, so I've been reading a lot of those series too. So
D&D is something I've always wanted to try. I just never had the time, I guess. I don't know. That's my excuse anyway. That's what I'm saying is the reason I never got into it. But I definitely have always wanted to try it for sure.
if you can, there's the online game Neverwinter. Like it's a good place to start because it's made by Wizards of the Coast and it's a very Dungeons and Dragons heavy game. So if you don't have anybody to play like the board games or the written games, that's a good place to start, definitely.
How about the have you read the Gears of War books? I've heard they're
not,
pretty bad, but
Yeah.
Oh
they
my
sound pretty
god, you're gonna
terrible
go
to
like
me.
that. God, Lord. Oh, we're gonna do this, huh? We're gonna be doing this. Huh? Okay, fine. We're gonna be doing this. All right. So basically, the whole stick is here's this. basically we have this little shall we say, ongoing joke with Dalton, and now he's firing it back to Gustavo. So
What? No, I was just throwing a jab at Gears.
I don't know
what
is this what is this yoke that you talk about?
Joke. The joke is Final Fantasy X. Okay.
Oh,
Like that.
what is that? I don't.
You don't know about that game? That game sucks, man. It's the worst game that ever come out for the PS2.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I've heard Final Fantasy X is the best game ever.
But no, Goose has been reading the Gears of War books. That's why I asked if you'd read them or not. Do you have any interest in the Gears franchise, or have you played any of the games?
I tried, because my brother had them. He's into Call of Duty and Gears of War and stuff like that. I think I played online once, and I got called every name under the sun. I'm like, okay, nope, I'm done.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a lot more like me, more single player story focused kind of gamer. Yeah, that's definitely my bread and butter as well. Like I'll play competitive online, but I mostly play games for the stories and all that stuff.
Yeah, although I'll just chip in and I'll defend Gears here. Although it is known for its multiplayer and cooperative modes, it does have a story. A lot of it happens outside of the actual games, but the actual games themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Judgment, they actually have pretty good stories. They just seem to be underrated in comparison to the other modes that they offer.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like I have heard that it does have a good storyline. After that, I was just like, I'm good. I'm good. Maybe a couple years down the road.
Definitely would.
I could see why that would be
off-putting.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's definitely something I've noticed within the video game industry is everybody is jumping on the multiplayer online hype.
Games.
I mean, kind of transitioning into streaming and stuff like that. That's what gets views, unfortunately. You do have those people that'll sit there and play like a story-focused game and show it off and stuff like that. But the people that play Fortnite and all the battle royales and all that kind of stuff, that's generally where the main viewers will kind of flock towards.
Like the only online game that what I first started streaming with was Dead by Daylight, but that only had like a very small amount of people playing together, whereas Fortnite, I've never actually played it, but there's a lot of people all at once.
Yeah.
And I gotta give kudos to Fortnite streamers because I don't know how they, keep their eye on chat and the game at the same time. If I tried that, I'd be dead within like the first 30 seconds. I'm like, well, welcome to the stream. We're gonna be dead the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I've never played Fortnite either. I've no shame in saying that. It's just not my type of game. I mean, I like multiplayer games. I like to play games online. But yeah, Fortnite's just not for me.
Yeah, we're the old guys now. Like we don't understand it. But
yeah,
not trying to throw shade at those who play it, who play the battle royale games. We've got a good friend that plays a lot of PUBG, so. I guess like Jeff said, I'm with you on the single player thing. Single player RPGs are my favorite. That's my favorite genre of all time, and I don't think anything will change that. So, would you say that you have a favorite game? Like, just if you had to pick one game, what's your favorite game?
Oh no, that's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
Well, we'll ask you that here in a little bit.
I was gonna say. I mean. People say that, but I mean, everybody does have a favorite.
Everyone does have a favorite kid. Yeah.
Yes. That's what I was.
It's a code of honor. You don't say it out loud.
Yeah, it's not a spoken thing, but everybody knows in the back of their mind who's their favorite.
True.
Like parents may love their kids the same, and I believe that. Like, hey, I love all my kids the same, but there's one that they have like a soft spot for. It's different because it's not right. My mom, but my aunt, she's never ever said it to any other of her nephews or nieces, but I know that I'm the favorite. Like I know, it's just understood. Like she was like, oh, I had your cousin because I got jealous when your mom had you, and I'm like, yep, I'm the favorite. That's it. That settles it.
Yeah.
Number one all time.
Oh God, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Fallout New Vegas, hands down.
Ooh, that's
interesting
a great
choice. I was not expecting. So. That being said, are you excited for the Outer Worlds when it comes out later this year?
So excited. Yes. I actually took launch day off and a good week after.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, that game
I'm assuming you're planning on to stream it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, really
Very
good.
cool.
Yeah, you know.
I'll definitely have to tune in for those because I'm very excited for that game myself.
Yeah.
So you know
It's-
we'll be there for that.
Yep.
Yes, awesome. It's definitely that one and Cyberpunk that I'm looking forward
I mean,
AEG
naturally.
game of the show for E3, yeah. And we're pretty excited for it too.
Fun fact, Ultima, that is not the AEG game of the show for E3 2019.
It will never be, okay? We have established that many times. It's not gonna change, okay?
He literally has yet to hear that episode because he refuses to acknowledge what we chose as AEG game of the show 2019.
Yep. I'd rather not know.
What did you pick? Oh, I'm curious. What did you pick?
So
You gotta
It's,
listen to the show.
It was technically Breath of the Wild 2.
it was Breath of the Wild 2. It was Breath of the Wild 2.
That's a good one.
No, it's not.
Technically, it's Untitled Breath of the Wild sequel is the official name of that game, but
Marlon had like this passion argument for it.
and it just won us. It won over our hearts.
It did. It won us over. We're like, yeah, you're right.
I'll try to be nice here because this is what happens.
I'll be the first to admit that Marlon does have that effect on us.
He does. He wins our hearts over every day.
So here's the issue. Whenever somebody thinks about E3, what is it that, when somebody thinks E3 as a gamer, those big announcements, the ones that you always think that you never see coming and you're like, oh, it just wows you. That was Breath of the Wild 2 for me, That's what, because we have seen so much of, Cyberpunk, we have seen so much of the other games. I'm thinking, you know what, I'm excited for those games. I really want to buy them. But when I saw that trailer, that for me was like, that's it. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, no, but he made an awesome argument because his argument was like, hey, this E3, one of the biggest themes running across the whole E3 is how E3 is dying, how E3 is dead. Sony wasn't there, EA wasn't there. We
disagreed the whole time though.
Activision wasn't there, and he's like, what game encapsulates what we loved about E3 in years past? That big tentpole AAA announcement, Breath of the Wild. That's it. And we were like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'll give him that in the fact that I wasn't expecting that either. Like,
Yeah.
I'd never heard any
Exactly.
rumors or anything about it. But
That was the big thing. Is like nobody. E3 is all about surprises and being caught off guard, and that was that was our argument for that game being our game of the show, which I don't think anybody else in the entirety of E3 judges picked that at all.
No,
I'm pretty sure, unless you were like a Nintendo focused thing, then maybe. But
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to streamers, so what do you love about it? Like what motivates you to continually do it? And
Well, it's gonna sound incredibly cheesy, but
Go for it.
the people that I meet and communicate with and talk to is probably the biggest factor for me streaming. Because when I started, I thought it was all about, gameplay. You got to be really good at it. And I found that the less I actually focused on the gameplay and the more I focused on chat and stuff, people had more fun, which was great because I'm not the best gamer. I love playing games, but I'm not the best one ever. So that's probably like the biggest driving factors is the people that I get to meet. And I'm not as shy as I used to be. Like, I can go up to people and just strike up conversations now because of doing streaming and stuff like that.
so it kind of, other words,
Boosted your
it
confidence.
broke you out of your shell. Is that more or less?
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Because one of the biggest things you have to learn when you're streaming is speaking to dead air. And so basically I've developed a skill where I can talk and talk and talk and not shut up and not feel bad about it.
I like that. That's a great skill to have.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a great skill. Some might say it's the best skill.
There we go.
I won't lie. I've tuned into a couple of her streams where she's streaming this fucking marble game, and all it does is like everybody like she gets people in the chat involved with this game, and they all like enter their, I don't know how you do it, but you get the people in the chat in this game, and they just drop marbles from this fucking thing, and it goes down a track, and then someone wins at the end. It's kind of like it sounds fucking stupid, but it's one of the most entertaining things I've ever watched in my life. Like I've tuned into a couple of those streams, and I have fun every single time. So
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? It's gonna be
Yeah.
yellow. Is it gonna
And
be
people
red?
are like,
Hold do
why-
it. Yeah.
Why are you rigging it? I'm like, I'm literally just press a button and I stop touching it. I got nothing to do with it.
you got people talking shit in the chat about whose
Oh.
fucking marble's gonna win. It's the
It's
greatest thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all scripted. It's all
Yeah.
scripted. It's fake.
Pretty much it.
You're like the NFL, just fucking rigging shit.
Yeah.
But no, that's just one example I have. I had so much fun when you were doing that, and it's something so absolutely off the wall. It was a lot of fun. I hope you do more of those because that was a super interactive stream too.
Yeah,
see,
well,
that's
I mean, if you could find games where you can get your audience to play, like that's why Jackbox Party is so popular, is because your audience can type in a code into their phone and it's like, hey, that's my character up on screen. And that makes them feel a part of the stream, which is basically what I'm trying to do every time I go live. It's like, hey, it's not just me, it's us. You know, we're here, we're talking, and we're interacting with each other. And yeah,
that game is fucking amazing. I love the Jackbox games. We played that actually at Dalton's house for one of, was it your diaper party, or was it your diaper party? I think it was both actually. Yeah. But oh my god,
Somebody say diaper
I've
party?
bought that since for my PlayStation, and we have friends that come over now, and we'll play that and stuff. It's so much fun.
What we do is get hammered for Friendsgiving, which is like our Thanksgiving, and then just play this Jackbox game, and it's so fun. It helps keep us young.
Yep.
I love that.
Just do yourself a favor, please. Don't play Mario Party on Friendsgiving.
Oh, we do.
We did.
Oh God, that's gonna. Oh my God.
Oh, Mario Party has been ruining friendships for what, 20 years now?
Something like that.
When did the first one come out? It's been at least 20 years.
Yeah, it has. It's like the early, like late 90s.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I think it came out
N64, so
I believe. So
yeah.
1990s.
Yeah, but that's awesome that you can, you know, have those interactive streams and bring people in, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, the thing that for me is the most difficult is just talking to no one and trying to be entertaining and trying to just have conversations but have nobody talk back to you.
Yeah.
And like commenting on stuff, like that's for me personally like one of the hardest things. That's why like when we were doing like the grind, the competitive show that Colt and I were doing, like it was nice to have him there too, so we could bounce off of each other and not just me talking to nothing. So
Exactly.
kudos to you for having that ability to do it.
Well, somebody gave me advice when I started, because when I started streaming, I was in a PS chat party, so I had other people that I could talk to, right? But then when I moved over to my PC, it's just me. So I'm like, what the hell do I do? And somebody had said, treat it like you're on a talk show or that you're on like a Discovery show, and just describe everything that's in front of you and just make comments that way. So I got that into my head. I'm like, okay, like I'm a TV presenter, and it just seemed to work.
Nice.
I don't know why it worked, but it worked.
To you?
Pretty much.
So
You stuck through it. Oh, go ahead, Marlon.
No, I'm saying it's like to talk to you about Mario Party. It came out on December 18 of 1999.
So
1998 in Japan, 1999 for us.
Almost 20 years.
So here's the thing, though. Make sure that if you're going to have somebody, like, you know, Jeff was saying, that you're going to be bouncing off of them, you know, when they're going to record for streaming and stuff like that, you partner, to have his stupid party chat actually record, okay? Because apparently he
This
wasn't.
guy's so angry.
Look at that.
He wasn't
Look at that over there.
We were
You see that?
recording
What's
Destiny. We were streaming Destiny, and I'm talking with him. We're having this great conversation. I record the freaking episode. I put it on YouTube. His mic is muted.
Yeah. That's weird. Who would do that? Who
Yeah.
would do that?
Ultima is
yeah.
like, this Marlon guy is very highly aggressive.
Don't play Mario Party. Don't mute your mic. Listen.
Listen. Yeah, listen. But
Don't
yeah.
bring up the Japanese.
oh God, here we go.
Oh, did you get me? No, I have no issues with Japan as a whole.
No, Marlon.
No.
God, he's gonna double down.
But I feel like this is a can of worms we should not have opened.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I shouldn't have said it.
Huge kind of
My
work you don't wanna-
apologies.
Yeah, I'm glad you play like Western RPGs and haven't brought up anything super Japanese yet, because we could have maybe gone the whole episode not talking about it. So
Yeah. But no, credit to you for sitting there. I'm sure like the early streams or whatever that you were when you first got started, you're talking to nobody, right? You've got no viewers. You're streaming to yourself basically. So
Well, I had my mom, if that counts.
nice.
Like I got really super lucky. Like my parents are really, really supportive of this. Like they helped me pay for my trip to TwitchCon, and they've
Nice,
given
that's
me
awesome.
like like
amazing.
during, if you ever come to one of my Marvel streams, you can see my parents' names up there. and like I can hear them cackling upstairs at what people are saying in chat. Just like
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
super
It's a great
awesome.
thing to have.
I told I sent my mom a link to our merch store, and she's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do with this?" I'm like, "Okay, you should order a T-shirt and support us, Mom." But no, that's cool.
That's something my mom would say too, bro.
Yeah,
Would say the
my
exact
mom
same
would
thing.
probably
She's
be
"What
like,
do you
I
want
don't
me to do
know.
with this?"
Yeah, like, my mom would probably be like, what? Okay, sure, Jeff, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I told my parents we run a podcast on the internet, and they're like, "Why? Why are you doing that?"
Well,
No, my mom's first reaction was like, "Oh, are you gonna get paid?"
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
That,
yeah.
that
Oh,
was
you
mine.
making some money? All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get that paper, Goose. Gotta get that
Yeah.
paper.
Well, my dad was in the entertainment industry. Like, he was a radio DJ and radio host for like 20 years. So he understands. Like, when I'm
Yeah.
explaining stuff, he's like, I get it. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, this is like the modern day version of something like that. So I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, he definitely understands.
Yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
pretty fucking cool. Like,
Yeah.
I just got
That's
I mean-
super awesome.
My mom tries. I'll explain these games that I'm playing. She's like, that's great. Awkward finger guns. At least you're there, Mom. I appreciate it.
that's
Feigned
awesome.
enthusiasm is still enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But so with like streaming, we talked about it last week on the show about Ninja, basically the biggest streamer in the entire world, moving away from like cut his contract with Twitch and is now going to stream exclusively for Mixer. For somebody that is, in the streaming space, how big of a deal was that to you? I mean, I know like we see it and we're like, oh, that's cool, he's doing what he has to do, but was it like a big like holy shit thing for somebody like, even somebody in the streaming space?
Well, not to begin with. It actually took me by surprise because up until 2 weeks ago, I had never actually heard of Mixer.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, like
Ooh, all right.
I've never heard of it. I'm like, okay, so that's fine. And then I saw his video. I'm like, okay. But, I mean, I understand. Okay, I think it's just monetarily driven, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, everybody's freaking out. And one thing I did notice, especially on Twitter, is like, I've made a Mixer. I'm moving over there. Like, everybody's just following him. And, like,
monkey see, monkey do. Another great
right?
example of that.
And it's like, okay, so then Mixer is going to get really saturated. But for Twitch, look at all those subs that are now available. It's like, oh, yes, now it's my time to shine, sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of Twitch streamers are kind of going towards. Like, I don't know, it's kind of like console wars. It's like PlayStation versus Xbox. Are you Twitch or are you Mixer, right? So it's, I don't know. I mean, I guess like I can see why he wanted to. He's like, I'm going to go back to my roots, which I guess was playing Halo or whatever. So I've stopped in on a couple of his streams. He's playing nothing but Fortnite still.
Oh, I mean, that's his bread and butter, though.
That's where he's making his money. I just want to know. I just want to stop real quick and let you know that your dad has commented on the chat. I believe the amazing daddy, man. She's right, about her dad.
Oh God, that is my dad.
He's in here watching.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
The pressure's on, so watch your language.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh boy,
amazing.
yes.
we have gone from rated
It's
R
awesome.
to
It's
rated
awesome
G.
to have
So.
supporting parents.
Yeah,
Are you
it is.
kidding? He's watched me and heard me play horror games where I, scream the F word as loud as possible.
Which
And he's
one?
like, "Are you okay?" Oh, Dead by Daylight to begin with,
Oh, which
and
episode?
then
No, which
And then
episode?
oh, which yeah,
Fun.
to take your
This is
pick.
so fun.
But
Touchlines. Footsicles, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I know we were talking about Ninja and stuff. I
that's
just wanted to.
funny.
I just wanted to let you know the pressure's now on.
oh yay.
The heat is on, as they say here in Miami.
Yeah,
So.
I agree with you. I the monetary thing you were saying, I do believe Microsoft probably backed up a truck full of money to his house.
Yeah.
About
and
50 millions worth of cash.
Well,
it's
probably.
I mean, because it's not just the publicity that he will bring to Mixer. It's all the sponsorship that he already is getting that will be moving over there as well, and that I'm sure Mixer is going to take a cut of that as well. And so, I mean, it's definitely something big like that. But I mean, it's a big deal because, I mean, I like Mixer simply because it's integrated into the Xbox One's hardware. Like, you can just instantly, okay, press a button, boom, boom, you're streaming.
Right.
Like, as opposed to Twitch. I mean, Twitch is fairly easy to stream on PlayStation, but on Xbox it's actually kind of a bitch. I mean,
yeah,
more or less. But I mean, I can see why he made the switch, and if he is like, I know Goose mentioned it on last week's episode, like it'll be interesting to see if he does move away slightly from Fortnite. I mean, he's going to be almost always playing Fortnite for the foreseeable future, as long as that game is still popular and as long as he's still that damn good at it. But like with Halo and with Gears coming out next month and stuff like that, it'd be interesting to see
if Microsoft pushes
pushing their first party stuff on him. Like it'd be cool to see him stream, Halo Infinite when it comes out next year and stuff like that.
I think that I mentioned this on last week's episode, but I actually want to just reiterate it again. That's one of the things that took me aback when the announcement was made. Just the amount of hate that he got from people who support Twitch. But I'm not a streamer, obviously. I don't really watch streamers at all. Not that there's anything wrong with streaming.
No offense.
Right? I'm not dumping on the profession. It's a great thing to do, and I'm glad that Ultima's on to give examples of why she likes it and how it's helped her in terms of opening up and being more social. But one thing that I didn't get was why the industry and like folks online didn't cover it from Microsoft's point of view, where my thinking was the exact same thing that Jeff said. I'm like, hey, Mixer is an up and coming platform. It's not going to beat Twitch, not anytime soon. But Microsoft has a plan going into next generation. They've invested a lot of money into first-party studios, and they're going to need a face. They're going to need somebody like a Ninja to showcase these new first-party games. And I'm like, they're thinking that he could be what PewDiePie was to Minecraft. He could be that for their first-party offerings. So I'm actually very interested in, because Gears 5 is coming. I promise this is not an excuse to talk Gears, but Gears 5 is coming out at the beginning of September, and I'm really interested to see whether or not he'll play that, seeing it as it's Microsoft's big first-party temple title for the holiday season. But I think that they are going to use him. I think that when some more of these first-party games come out, I think he will be playing them and showcasing them on Mixer and to his audience. Even though he left Twitch and he left 14-15 million subs behind, I think there's a lot of eyeballs on Ninja still who want to see what he's playing.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's a former Halo pro, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what he started streaming with, was Halo, and that's when he said, I'm going to go back to my roots, and everybody assumed, he's going to go back to playing Halo, hopefully. At least that's what we're thinking the plan is that he's going to play more. Infinite. Yeah, and I mean, like, because it's Microsoft owned, he's gonna get like free copies of all of these games.
Absolutely.
I mean, they get most of these streamers get free copies of stuff regardless, more or less. Some of the really
Ultima was like, I don't.
I feel like I'm getting gypped. Like, I haven't got anything for free. Are you kidding?
I mean, like the mainstream names.
We're talking about the influencers, okay? We're gonna put them on quote unquote the influencers.
Yeah, influencers, sure, Marlon. Thank you.
So basically, what makes me laugh about what Gustavo was talking about, how most of gaming news and gaming outlets were talking about from the gaming's perspective, not the developers and the game's perspective. Gustavo, that's logic. That's facts. That's data. That don't fly in here, bro. It's feelings, okay? This enterprise is built on feelings and opinions. I feel this way, okay? My opinion is more valid.
I'm sorry, I made too much sense.
Yes, yes, you did.
You should feel sorry.
Because I swear to God, man, you look at some of these players, and I get it. They get really invested into the personalities, the YouTubers, the influencers, but they keep forgetting that these people are. They may have, treat you with respect. May like you as a person, but at the end of the day, they need to get paid. They need to make money out of this. So if this is going to allow them to get more money out of it, they will take the route. It's not being a sellout. It's just if the person who's saying Ninja's a sellout, PewDiePie was a sellout when it happened for him. It's basically, like if you were in their position, you would do the same thing as them. So why are you getting mad about it?
That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up, Marlon, because I just want to let anyone know, anyone that watches our show, listen to our show, whatever, we will 100% sell out in a second if there's a lot of money. So if that bothers you, then we are not the show for you, because we will. If we get paid a bunch of money, I could quit my job tomorrow and just do this full time for a bunch of money. Oh, absolutely. We'll move exclusively to that platform too. Right. I'll cut off. I'll cut off every one of them.
Yeah, if they're like, we'll give you a few $1 million, split 4 ways or whatever to do that. Hell yeah, I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You'll be seeing Dalton wearing a llama shirt from Fortnite. You'll be seeing Jeff over here 100%. With a pinata walking around.
You're damn right.
Fucking damn straight.
I'll get a Fortnite tattoo if it means $100 million.
100%.
All right, 6ix9ine, relax. Okay, relax.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even like Fortnite, but Epic, if you pay me a bunch of money, I will tell everybody it's the greatest fucking thing that has ever happened to this planet. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
No, but I think one of the things that a lot of people don't think about too, and I brought it up before on the show regarding streamers, is that like the big ones, they play the same thing over and over again. And I don't care how much you may like a game, but after 1,000+ hours, you're gonna get tired, right? You're streaming 10, 12, maybe more than that hours a day, and you play the same thing over and over. You're gonna get burnt out. So I think for him, it's like a little bit of a reprieve where he can be like, oh, great, I'm going to play Fortnite now, but once these first-party games start coming out, I'll be able to dip in and dip out of other things. And just going back to the Microsoft angle, I will be surprised if they don't try to lure other like big-name streamers like a Dr. Disrespect or... I don't know who else is out there. That's the only other name that I can think of.
I don't know. Think about it. You could get
to their platform.
You can get MTash. You can get Dado from Destiny. You can get.
They can get Alinity.
Yeah.
They can have her.
Yeah.
They can have her.
Like, wait, that's that dog girl?
Yeah.
Screw that
we
lady.
keep the dog. We keep the dog.
She can go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great
segue.
I would say great segue, Dalton. Thank you for that. So you wanted to talk about this, kind of for the people that don't know what happened. Kind of explain the situation and then kind of give your thoughts, and then we'll play off of that for sure.
Yeah. So I didn't see the live stream. I saw the clip that everybody did, because Twitter is a really good thing for stuff going around like herpes. So.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
Hey, did you see our Twitter yesterday? I defeated herpes. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. He did.
Defeat herpes. This is true with whatever his warrior is, Valtrex.
Oh God.
The name of my sword.
There you go.
Yeah. So I kept seeing this hashtag. It was like ban Aline, or however you pronounce it. I can't even pronounce her name.
I say Alinity, but I don't know if I'm right.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I clicked on it and I saw the clip. And what had happened is she was playing Apex, and her cat was walking in front of her, and you can't see the cat until she picks him up and literally throws him over her head. And you can't see what's behind her. She's like, oh, there's a bed there. Really? Because that sounded like hard ground, like thunk. It was like, I know cats are very, dexterous and, dexterous and stuff like that. Yeah, but you don't throw animals. And then, that opened up that, hey, did you guys know that she spit vodka in her dog or cat's mouth a couple months ago?
It was the same cat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on stream. It's like, are you serious? Really? But the biggest thing is that Twitch did nothing. There was no warning, there was no banning, nothing. So this brought up the conversation that some of the big, like really big names in Twitch, they're shown favoritism, because especially if you're a woman, I guess. I haven't felt that personally, but I mean, if you make like the big bucks and stuff like that, because we were talking about Dr. Disrespect too, right? Walking into the public washroom and he got banned for a month.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling that there was no repercussions for it at all. So that's one of the biggest things that's going around the Twitch community right now, is that what the hell?
And Twitch,
there's a double standard for sure. And see, we got to also think about it like this. I don't know the way Amazon's and Twitch's business model works, but if it's anything like YouTube, where they're dependent on a couple of 1,000 big name streamers where they generate the majority of their money through ads, then it's going to be the same problem, right? People talk crap about PewDiePie and all the bad stuff that he's done, but YouTube won't get rid of him because he's their biggest star. He generates so much money for them. So he's one of these too big to fail guys, right? And I'm assuming that the same thing happens over on Twitch.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I mean, like if Ninja were to say, like, that was another thing, is that there's a couple of other female streamers that apparently said the N-word, and
I saw a video about that.
Yeah, that's a huge no-no on Twitch, right? Like, when I first started streaming, and somebody had warned me about it, and I was in party chat, and somebody had casually, said it, I cut off the video, I deleted it, I restarted my whole stream, and I kicked them out. I'm like, you can't say that. Whereas now it's like willy-nilly and nothing happens, right? So it's
Right.
And Twitch was even going as far to ban people for talking about her, like random other like smaller people. They were suspending those people for even talking about her throwing her fucking cat and shit. So I know there was a lot of like boycotting going on there for a little bit. I don't know if that's still going on or if people gave it up, but
that feeds into the whole Twitch and Mixer thing. Like, this is why a lot of the streamers, or at least my friends, moved over to Mixer, because there was also bot attacks that were happening. Like, there's one account that buys all of these other accounts, and they show up in your stream and they follow, and they're bots. And that could really ruin somebody's statistics and chances of ever becoming partner, because if you suddenly get followed by 3,000 fake accounts,
Exactly.
it
Doesn't look good.
And
exactly.
does Twitch have anything to battle, to fight against that?
They say that they are, but from what I've seen, nothing has been done yet. All it is try and find the account that has all of them and ban them, and they'll go. I'm like, yeah, but if you got like 3,000 people that just show up all of a sudden, trying to weed through all of them is ridiculous.
And I think, I'm going to turn that on its head, and I'm going to say that the same is the same rings true for Twitch. Like, I think they're probably short-staffed, or they just don't have the manpower. I mean, how can you moderate 3,000 different accounts? The answer is you cannot. You cannot moderate 3,000 different accounts.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest complaints, is that if you ever talk to like Twitch support or whatever, they get a lot of abuse, and they the biggest complaint was, they never get back to me, or they take forever. I'm like, dude, do you know how many people are on this platform and how many complaints they have to go through? Like, just chill. It will get resolved. Just be nice to them, because there's an actual person behind those accounts, right? They're trying their best to help you, but people will just go the shit route. They'll just be like, this sucks, Twitch sucks, blah, blah, blah. It's like, patience.
That's how the service industry in general is. It's ridiculous.
It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's also that little bit where I don't know what happened. I just want to bring it up real quick. When Twitch was playing porn on Ninja's old account.
That was such a spiteful thing to do, man.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what happened, what the story is. I just saw it.
I don't buy it that it was a mistake. Not after he left. I don't buy it at all.
I don't know, because I've seen that on a couple other channels before. Like with the suggested, it has popped up before. I think what it is with like algorithms and stuff is like, hey, people who watch this also watch this. So here's the suggested page, right? So it's like, well, yeah, Ninja's audience is a bunch of teenage boys, so it's not.
All right, that makes sense when you put it like that. It doesn't. I think optically it just looks bad right after he left the platform. Yeah. So that's why people would probably had like an axe to grind.
Well, yeah, because I mean. It's feeding into that whole, war. It's like they're already looking for a reason to like, oh yeah, I'm leaving Twitch forever. Mixer is so much better, and that basically was just fuel for the fire at that point.
But I don't think Mixer is that much better in terms of like, I know that Phil Spencer, they had like a blog post over at Xbox Live Wire where they were talking about community guidelines on Xbox Live. Now, I don't know whether this extends over to Mixer, but I'm pretty sure that that in the near future it will, where they were very strict about the type of content and the type of behaviors that they wanted on Xbox Live, even going as far to like sort of list what was acceptable talk and what wasn't, even by giving examples. So, like me personally, I'm just a fan of, like, I always call it like a light regulatory touch. And I think Twitch is good at that, right? They sort of let the community police itself, for better or for worse, Whereas
Yeah.
I think Mixer is going to be more like hands-on. We don't want these people on our platform. And me personally, I can't back that.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Microsoft has more manpower though, probably. I mean, look how many more resources they have.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
Yeah. But I mean, do you guys have any like what else we want to talk about? I mean, I know we kind
I
of
know that you're heading over to TwitchCon, so maybe we can go into that and what
Yeah.
that is. Will that be your first TwitchCon?
It is. Yeah, it's my first. I was super bummed that I couldn't go last year, but I didn't know anybody within the community last year because I had been streaming for 2 months at that point. So I was like, I'm not gonna know anybody, and plus I was dirt broke too. So yeah, that was good. I'm really excited. It's my first solo trip, especially to the States. So I'm excited, but I'm also terrified at the same time.
Bring a gun. That's all I tell you. Bring your own gun.
yeah, try to get through airport security with an assault rifle. You'll be good to go. All right.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is
there we
probably
go.
a stupid question, but where's TwitchCon going to be held? Is it going to?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I'm
It
assuming
says
Southern California.
San Diego. Yeah,
Thank,
San
thank
Diego.
you for asking that question, Goose, because I felt weird asking that question.
Oh, that's fine.
Look,
It's the
Look.
very bottom of California.
Yeah.
San
if you're gonna go to
Diego,
Twitch-
also
Dun, dun,
known
dun.
as a whale's vagina.
Why you gotta do that, bro? Why?
Like an anchor,
Look,
man.
just tell them. Look, just
Rock
tell them
Cut.
that you are a Twitch influencer, and they'll let you pass through with the assault rifle. They will
Oh,
not
yeah.
check it. They will just go.
100%.
Go ahead.
100%.
Oh boy.
Pretty
Yeah.
distasteful topic for what's going on right now, but
Yeah.
yeah. So you said you're going solo. Are you planning on meeting up with anybody once you get there? Have you obviously made friends in the community, right?
Yeah,
There's gotta be some
actually-
people.
Well, one of the first things I did when I started streaming is I actually joined a stream team, and I know that people are like, "Oh, those are horrible," but actually, the one I'm with, they're not competitive, which is what I really like. And they're super supportive. It's Team TSAN, Twitch streaming and networking. I always forget what that means, but there we go. But we've got a Discord, and we're all like, yeah, this is where we're planning on meeting at this time, and at this place. It's at TwitchCon. I'm like, great! I actually know people that I'm gonna go meet for the first time. So yeah, I get to meet all my internet friends. It's gonna be good.
That's pretty awesome.
I'm a little bit of a foodie, so like wherever I travel, I always try to look for the mom and pop places to eat that are the most popular. I recommend you do the same.
Yeah, if I could do like a vacation with nothing but based on food, I'd be there.
Amen.
Like, yeah, I'd love to do like a food tour of Europe one of these times. Like,
Oh,
just
hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
great.
Have some
Oh, yeah.
fish and chips in fucking the UK or some haggis in fucking Germany. Oh,
Or
great.
get like some like authentic pasta in Italy, and yeah, that'd be awesome. Or pizza. Yep. But no, that's super awesome. So is this like, have you ever been to like an actual convention or anything like that before? Not TwitchCon, but like, because I know like around where Dalton and I live, there's like an anime / video game convention that they do every year. And I've been to that a few times. So I mean, is this your first time ever going to something like that?
No, thankfully. So I kind of know the ins and out of it. Because I mean, you got like the huge San Diego Comic-Con, but they actually come to Canada. Like they come to like Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, and that sort of thing. So
I know all those towns because of the Heart Foundation.
there you go. There you go.
I love you, Goose. Thank you so much. I knew that too. I was like, oh, Calgary.
So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
You've been to a Comic-Con then.
I've been to a couple, yeah. So I kind of know what to do and what not to do, but
How
I
conventions work, like the ins and outs.
yeah, and I mean, because I put up on my Twitter, I'm like, does anybody have any advice? And everybody's like, water. And everybody was all about the hangover cure. I'm like, okay, is everybody expecting to just drink the whole time we're there?
Yes.
Because I'd be down for that. I
100%.
mean, it's not gonna be bad.
Yeah, when I went to Colossal Con in, 2014, it was the last time I was there. I started drinking at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know what this water nonsense is people are talking about because it was literally just beer after
You
beer.
washed down a
after
beer with
beer
another beer.
after beer. Yeah, I was hammered by like noon, and I just kept
Dude.
going. Like, it
What'd
was
you do?
Yeah.
That's
it was a
what
lot
you
of
do.
fun.
Dude, you
I'm
went
not
to a
even-
Comic-Con convention or you went to a beer convention, for crying out loud?
Oktoberfest, dude.
Well,
ColossalCon's kind of an anime thing, and I'll admit to everyone watching, I'm not really a big anime fan. I just went because I've got a buddy that's into that stuff, and he asked me to go, and I just kept getting hammered. It was a great time, though. I had so much fun.
It's inside of a water park, for
Yeah.
context. So there's bars and stuff inside of this complex. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're spending $6 for a beer, but
Oh,
beer
see, I
number
prob-
like 6, you don't care how much you're spending for beer. You just want more beer,
Yeah.
or you
I
bring your
probably-
own in like most people do.
I probably spent about $600 that night just on beer.
That's
Or that
insane.
It was worth
Her
it.
face was priceless. Ultima's face was just priceless.
I was
my
just like, I'm like, oh wait, that's a lot of beer.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, wait.
You're not
She's
too
doing the
familiar
math
with
on
us.
her head. She's going,
These
wait,
guys
6,
know
10,
I'm pretty
10,
good at
10.
throwing money away. So
Yeah.
that's nothing. That's a normal day for me.
Just make sure you
Um,
bring some Canadian Molson over the duty free when you come over here to the States.
Oh, yeah. Oh boy.
But
I
yeah,
guess you guys don't call it Canadian Molson up in Canada. You
It's just
you guys call it
Molson.
Molson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't call it Canadian Molson here either. We just call it I don't know what
We
the hell
just
you're
call it
talking
Molson. I think you're the only one that calls it that, Goose.
Yeah.
I do.
But
Honestly, I
I've-
prefer the bat anyway.
I've had a beer down in the States, and I gotta be honest, it's like it tastes it's water.
Thank you.
In comparison to Canadian beer, which can pack a wallop, it's like this is okay, barley flavored water.
8.6% right here. So just so you guys
Dude,
know,
If
I'm
you're
drinking-
not doing 12%, it's not worth it.
I'm not a
Damn.
man. I'm not a man.
German beer, so for me, I enjoy the fact that she's like calling it out because that's what it is. I'm sorry. American beer, it is just absolute crap. My dad loves drinking Corona, and I'm like, that's just freaking water,
Jeff
man.
is bothered by this. He's like, wait a minute, you're attacking
Listen.
my favorite beer.
This is
No,
8.6%.
no, honestly-
A Budweiser's only like 5%.
It's funny because I mentioned something. I think nobody else was in the chat, but we were talking and I was like, I drink White Claws, so I'm a basic white girl when it comes to alcohol.
Yeah,
So
I'm not a huge beer drinker like my family is, whereas I like fruity cocktails because I don't like the taste of liquor. So there we go.
That's fair.
Nothing
I can't
wrong
do
with that.
liquor either. If I drink
Nothing
liquor,
wrong-
I'm drunk after like 2 shots.
I would say
Like,
I
I'm a
don't
lightweight.
drink beer much anymore just because it's too heavy. Like for
Mhm.
me,
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta watch my figure, okay? Like, come on.
I feel it. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
getting,
give me a
getting old.
break for
Shit
crying
starts
out
packing
loud,
on.
man.
But yeah,
People
No,
will
have-
kill you.
definitely have a good time though. I mean, is your
Yeah.
hotel close to the convention? Like, can you
It
walk?
is. Yeah, it is. And I was looking up places to eat and stuff because I'm trying to plan my days around the convention times and stuff like that. And in the radius between my hotel and the convention center, there's probably about 40 different pubs.
Oh yeah.
So-
There you go.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll
the
go
pub
there in the
food.
morning and then I'll walk back, but I'll be like drunk by the time I get back from all the pit stops I make.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
In-
Yeah.
Better
Way
be.
to do it.
Going back to the con, and in relation to the con itself, are there like any panels that you either are
Yeah.
going to be part of or are looking forward
Um,
to seeing or watching?
I have the schedule. I haven't really looked over it a ton yet. But there's one about growing your audience or trying to like keep your audience, which is something that I want to go see. There's also a drag queen one. The drag queen's a Twitch. I'm like so excited to see that one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. But so far those are the only two I'm looking at.
Don't
right
be
now.
surprised if you find Marlon in there.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Nice.
His hair's
Oh,
that could be
It's
that
got
could be
burned.
AFR's
I
next.
got
Where's
burned at the
Marlon?
stake. Oh my god, I got burned with the steak twice. Screw you.
Oh man.
That was beautiful.
All right, freelancer
That was
radio. Where's
beautiful.
Mar? Like in a drag queen convention up in San Francisco.
So how many Long Island iced teas are you gonna be drinking? That's the
Oh,
real question.
Yeah, I can see my dad's comment on there. Long Island iced tea. Okay, let me tell you, those are like the drinks that you drink and you're sitting and having a good time. You don't realize how drunk you are until you go to stand up. And it's like, oh, floor.
I almost died on my 21st birthday was because of Long Island iced teas. So.
Oh yeah, they're just
Right.
they're delicious, but they're dangerous because they go down like water.
Yep.
They really do.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely super cool that you're going to TwitchCon. I would love to have you back on after you've been there, so you can kind of give us like more details about that and what your experience was like, any cool stories that you have and stuff like that. We'd love to have you back on here for that.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I'd never personally be able to make it to something like that unless we do hit it big and I don't have to go to work. But
right.
So unfortunately, I can't go to something like that. So it definitely would be cool to hear your thoughts on it and
Yeah, for sure.
get your feedback on it. And yeah, let us know, like, especially like even if you don't like come back on the show immediately after, let us know like who you've met there and stuff like that. If you meet any like big time people or, because I don't know who all goes to these types of things. So.
Well, if you go onto like the TwitchCon website, it'll show you all the partners that have a ticket. And I was looking, I'm like, oh, there's actually a couple of people I want to meet. Then I know some that I want to avoid. So there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So do you care to go into who you want to avoid, or can we get a little saucy on the AEG show?
I haven't seen anybody yet, but
we don't already get saucy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole show is nothing but sauce.
Yo, all of
a bunch of basic white girl sauce for Jeff over here. That's basically what it is.
And Marlon, you can't say that.
No shame.
That's not for you to say, buddy.
Why?
We're all the three of us. We're offended.
Yeah, super offensive.
But no.
Why are you raising your hands?
Staying out of this one, folks.
Gustavo making the wise decision, but
Gustavo was like, police officer, I'm not affiliated with this person. I can take him away.
Yeah, I just want to say, we definitely appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes.
Especially for us. This is something like I said, this is entirely new. We've never had a streamer on the show. We're not big streamers ourselves. I've said it. I jump into people's streams as much as I can when I have free time. I've said it multiple times. We aren't really streamers. Like I primarily use our Twitch to just support other streamers and see what's going on. So, it was cool. It was fun to step out of our comfort zone for sure. Yeah. Like something we don't know a whole lot about. So.
Yeah, well, thank you for inviting me. Because I mean, like when we got an email saying, "Hey, we want you on the show," I'm like, wait, people want to talk to me? Like this is weird. Why? But
what are you selling? What are you selling to me right now?
Like what's the catch? What's the catch? Yeah.
Catch is you have to talk to us.
Are you secretly from Herbalife? Right? That's basically what it is. Are you trying to sell me into this stupid company?
Are you talking about the mattresses, Marlon?
Like all I can think of is that old like Chappelle Show skit where it's like the real life like internet where it's like debt consolidation, gambling, like the pop-up ads and stuff like that.
That was a great skit, man. That was a great skit.
It was awesome.
But no, so this was entirely new for us. So everyone watching, we apologize if we completely blew it. But either way, even if we did, I had a lot of fun. This was a really fun episode for me, and it definitely I look forward to popping into more of those Marvel streams for sure.
Yeah, I definitely now that Dalton was talking about that, I definitely wanna check those out. That sounds really fun.
They are a lot of fun. They are. It's better when you have a bottle of wine because by the end of it, you're just like everybody wins. We're all winners.
You turn into Oprah.
Yeah, you can win, and you can win.
It's funny that you mentioned about the Marvel things because for me, I thought it was like, just people playing with this Marvel game. Why would anybody watch that? But then a couple of years back, I was watching something called Marvel Olympics, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? And I'm going, 15 minutes later, I'm going, go USA!
Oh my God.
Yeah, people get really into it.
That's awesome.
Well,
all the fucking countries, man. I was like, so.
We'll wait to end this episode for let Marlon go get his Marvel collection and show.
Let's go get out of here with it, man.
But is there anything else that you guys would like to add, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We'll say it.
Nothing. No, I was just gonna say that's basically the same thing. Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
No, I just want to say, I just want to say thanks to Ultima for being part of the show. I really had a lot of fun talking to you regarding all you do and what you're gonna do over at TwitchCon. I'm gonna echo what Jeff said. I really would like to have you back when you get a shot when you come back, just to talk over your experience over at TwitchCon. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. That would be a lot of fun. I'll actually have a lot more to talk about, hopefully.
Well, we had plenty to talk about this time, but yeah, it'd definitely be nice to do just a whole episode just highlighting TwitchCon. That would be something new, definitely for all of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Other than getting hammered at one convention, that's my experience with conventions. So I'm not the authority on that by any means. And so
I have one lingering question that I want to ask you, because maybe you did answer it and I wasn't.
She said,
maybe I was just too drunk. Maybe I was just too drunk for it. I don't know.
that's how we feel every week.
How did you came across with the name Ultima?
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't really get into that. Well, a couple of years ago, because my aunt used to live with us, I would play off of her PlayStation, and when she moved out, she took it with her. So I saved up my own money, and I bought my own, and it's like, you have to come up with a username. I'm like, great. So it actually took me like a week and a half to come up with it, but my brother and I were talking, and we were talking about like which video game we want to live in, like if we had to pick one to live in for the rest of our lives, what would it be? And he had said something about, yeah, that'd be the ultimate reality, for me, and blah blah blah. I'm like, that has a nice ring to it. So I tried to plunk it in, and it was one letter too long. So I'm like, okay, so I gotta take out a letter so people can read it as like ultimate reality. So I'm like, okay, I'll take the E out. I'm like, yeah, that'll work. As soon as I started streaming, it was like Ultimat Reality.
Ultimat Reality. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go with that. But that's basically how I came up with it. Like, I got to give credit to my brother because he's the one that said it. I'm like, that sounds pretty good, actually. So
that's awesome.
I'm really glad you stuck with it, though. That's your name on all platforms. You kept the E out.
Yeah.
It was like a fuck you to everybody that talks shit.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so that's why I was hoping, I'm like, if I pop into streams, because people read usernames fast enough that they'll just Ultimate Reality, and it worked for a bit until people were like, wait, there's no E there.
They're trying to help you too by spelling.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've been bamboozled by this person. Please.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the story of it, and then I was like, yeah, my name's Ultimate Reality, and then people are like Ultima, I'm like, these are all, I'll go with every single one of them. That works. Whatever you want to call me.
Acceptable.
I even respond to, hey, you with the face over there.
Hey, you with the face and the
Hey,
thing
you
that looks like a
with the
person.
face.
Yeah, pretty much.
What else would I have? Just...
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very
So
cool.
before we close the episode out, I definitely want to give you a chance to just tell everybody where they can find you. Like, everywhere you have a presence, I should say.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter. It's at Ultimate Reality with a 1, because for some reason it wouldn't let me have Ultimate Reality. And then you can find me on Twitch, Ultimate Reality as well. And I also have a Facebook that I don't use too much, but it's Ultimate Reality, Twitch streamer. But those are all the places you can find me.
Very
and
cool.
I use Twitter more often, and I try to respond to every message that I get. So feel free to come talk to me and all that wonderful stuff.
Absolutely. Go follow her everywhere and send her a friend request on Facebook.
Do not go follow her everywhere, creepos.
Don't
physically go follow her everywhere.
Yeah, we also have a Facebook, but I don't think any of us have been on that in over 2 years.
No,
Yeah.
it
What is
tells me
Facebook?
every once in a while, like, oh, your Facebook page has a blah blah blah. I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably check that, and then I never do.
So you can find us on Facebook, but don't expect anything because I don't even have a Facebook personally anymore. So.
Twitter and Twitch is where you find us most active.
Yeah.
Here's the thing
If
about
you follow us
Facebook.
on Twitter and if you follow us on YouTube, you may get a copy of Borderlands.
Also true, which
Oh,
is less than a month
yeah.
away now.
Yay!
I don't know if you heard about that giveaway, but you're more than welcome to enter as well.
I did follow earlier, so there we go.
There you go. Uh-oh.
Good.
So yeah,
We have
go
another one.
follow all of her accounts, and I can say this with I have experience. I've been there. They're a lot of fun. Her streams are a ton of fun. I've been to several of them, so
Ah,
Yeah.
shucks.
yeah, you'll enjoy it. I promise. Even if it's something as dumb as shit as marbles, it is so fun for everyone, and it really is. So
You'll have to let us know too when you do another like jackbox Xbox stream, because I'd like to be a part of that too. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I was supposed to do it for my 1-year celebration, but that didn't happen. So I'm doing my 1-year affiliate after TwitchCon
Cool.
to make
Very
it
cool.
easier. Yeah.
Nice. And we'll definitely have to collaborate on something in the future.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
we can make something
For sure.
cool out of that. But yeah, we definitely
wanna-
want to have you back on sometime after TwitchCon if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'd love to be back. This is a lot of fun.
We appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
thank you.
Yeah.
But that sounds like all we got then for you guys this week. Gamescom is this week, which most likely our next week episode. I do believe, I'm not sure if we have another guest lined up for next week. But we're definitely, I do want to do a Gamescom recap because it's going to be a probably pretty busy news week.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, in relation to how the summer's been thus far, yeah.
Yes,
it's gonna be pretty
absolutely. So there'll be some interesting things to talk about with that for sure.
It's summer 2017 all over again, you know.
We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys as always for listening. Thank you guys to those of you that were watching live, and then we will be doing. You'll be able to catch the audio version on Tuesday at our normal time. And then once again, thank you Ultima for being on the episode.
Well,
It was
thank
a
you for inviting me.
blast.
Yeah, it was a
It
lot
was
of
awesome.
fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you guys as well. And until next week, we will see you here on the AEG show.
Bye.